Hi, my name is Trinity Wentz, and I'm in my third year of pursuing a Bachelor of Business Administration for Human Resource Management. I see myself as someone who is driven by my values of empathy, a passion for dreaming big, and a commitment to building meaningful relationships through connection and socializing. I thought I would explain some of my values alongside why I'm a student here at NATE because I think it helps you to understand like the type of person I am and informs you of why I'm at NATE's in your class. So now that you know a little bit more about me, my definition of leadership is the ability to prioritize both people and results. So, in order to do this, an effective leader must know how to inspire and guide a group of united people to reach those meaningful and fulfilling goals together. This begins with self awareness that enables a leader to recognize their values for them to use as a compass when balancing being approachable with being decisive and setting goals. Creating a vision that people can connect with and motivates everyone to bring their unique strengths and even weaknesses forward to be developed. An effective leader makes everyone feel valued and empowered to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from these mistakes to generate a culture of inclusivity and shared success. So, there were a lot of insightful learnings in this course that really helped me to develop my leadership, but narrowing it down to one of the five practices of leadership that has impacted my leadership philosophy the most is practice four. So, this was centered around enabling others to act. And the concepts of fostering collaboration and strengthening others will be invaluable towards my ability to generate trust in my relationships. And because making these relationships is one of the things that I value so strongly, I think this is really important to me, and this will also help me to empower my peers through shared power and discretion, which exists to me as those vital components of effective leadership. So I never really thought about what the difference between a traditional manager and an effective leader was before because I assumed their position of power meant that they were the same thing. I couldn't have been more wrong about that though after going through this course. In coordination with Douglas McGurry's Theory X and Theory Y concept that recognizes how managers' beliefs about what motivates their people can affect their management style, embracing a Theory Y structure is more advantageous to me because of the decentralized control it permits. Leading with this decentralized control exhibits how a manager trusts their people to really take ownership and do their work themselves, which, in my opinion, promotes that empowerment and engagement that is discussed in Practice 4. However, this is where aspects of traditional management being the better option from the ideology of a top down structure can be argued because, after my own self reflection and reading through the textbook, sometimes trust is hard to generate at first because it involves being vulnerable, which is a personal risk and fear of mine that can be a roadblock to my leadership development based on that authority that I feel I can lose from admitting to my mistakes that make me seem unprepared or undermine my credibility. And too much trust and freedom may also encourage free riders and result in individuals decreasing their productivity. Nonetheless, though, being the one to take the first step and trusting someone demonstrates a leader's self confidence, in my opinion. And furthermore, I think the act of embracing my vulnerabilities and showing that this trust is a little bit more difficult to build, but being the one to take that first step in building it is a sign of self awareness that encourages my followers to show their own vulnerabilities. And I think that helps us to create these deeper connections. I will be using this reflection of the learnings in Practice 4 to really build those relationships based on that trust and determine my own style of leading others to build an environment of trust and continuous learning. So, additionally, the topic of empowerment versus delegation was super impactful to me in Practice 4 because I've learned that empowerment strengthens others more than simply delegating them tasks. Because when people feel empowered, they're more motivated to take initiative and think outside of the box. Again, embracing that Theory Y structure from the autonomy permitted to a leader's followers rather than just following instructions, which I found actually results in my own unimaginative contributions and outcomes. So I will admit I am sort of a control freak, and I have a hard time empowering my peers in group projects because I just have like that lack of trust in their drive, like I was mentioned earlier. So this concept is extremely valuable to my leadership practice because I realized to empower others, I need to first create those relationships founded on trust, and then from this trust, I feel more confident in their abilities and their capability to make those beneficial decisions and solve the problems that are more challenging, which also builds on their own potential. So I think embracing empowerment is a way in which I can transform my teams from task driven to purpose driven. And this is extremely impactful again to their personal growth and the outcomes that we achieve. So some of the tools that I now have in my leadership toolkit are the concept of the Oz principle, which was super impactful for me because it helped me to assess my level of credibility, which I think is vital to an effective leader in their reputation. And reputation is something that I value a lot because I want people to think that I am credible and I want people to think that I am the type of person that they want to follow. So I appreciate the analogy of the Oz principle and stating there's a thin line that separates those success from failure, and how those below the line are individuals who blame others for their downfalls, and those above the line are actually those who have a sense of reality and a commitment to work hard for their achievements. I want to always hold myself accountable for my mistakes and understand that these mistakes are learning opportunities that just help me to become my best self. And I can do that through this accountability. So the concept of visioning was also enlightening for me because it made me reflect on why I've had such successful experiences, such as when I went to the actual HRC West case competition in Victoria, where I was compelled by someone who I actually now deem an effective leader in my team through the clear vision that inspired me to achieve our shared goal that from her vision we could all align our values and ambitions with, which was crucial to our success as a team. So visioning is crucial in my leadership development because it enables me to set a specific direction and purpose, which not only motivates me, but my future team members during times of challenge and loss of determination. Based on a SWOT analysis model, actually, I now feel I have the skill to clarify short and long-term goals based on a self-reflection of my strengths and weaknesses, as well as the opportunities and threats within my environment to really translate my vision into actionable steps. So I also feel inspired from the learnings to invigorate others I work alongside through clearly articulating the visions I concoct. Moreover, one of the 10 leadership commandments that stood out to me in my leadership practice was search for opportunities by seeking innovative ways to change, improve, and grow. So this commandment from practice 3 emphasizes the importance of resilience and adaptability in leadership, which greatly aligns with my values. This commandment has encouraged me to step outside of my comfort zone, like when I volunteered for an organization I had no prior knowledge of for the first leadership assignment. And it encourages me to celebrate the small victories I achieve alongside my journey to graduate from NATE and create this successful business career for myself. So furthermore, from the critical thinking model, I will use setbacks as valuable lessons to improve and grow and foster both personal and team development. Critiquing my thinking process is also important based on this model because it helps me to determine the inefficiencies of my decisions, making appropriate changes, and revisiting my thinking processes to ensure consistencies between what I think and what I actually say and do that will benefit, again, my reputation. So, servant leadership is another great tool that I'll be using to aid my leadership development because it connects with my personal philosophy and vision to generate teams built on positivity and appreciation for each other's efforts. In 2024, I've recognized the requirement for employers to have really high emotional intelligence because of the strong focus on mental health and work-life balance. So, practicing this servant leadership will help me to observe when those around me need extra support. And this requirement for emotional intelligence is why my personal vision is to do everything in my power to ensure those around me feel valued and are recognized for their contributions so that nobody ever feels unnoticed. So, to conclude, since servant leadership was a concept that deeply impacted me, to advance my servant leadership skills, because it's something that I really want to incorporate into my leadership practice, I plan to implement a personal initiative to lead a monthly help hour for my friends and family, offering assistance with any tasks they need support with, whether it's cleaning, organizing their spaces, running errands, or just offering a listening ear. Using the SMART goal framework, this plan is specific as it focuses on providing meaningful support to others in my immediate circle. It's measurable as I will track participation and get feedback from those I help about the impact I've had on them. And it is achievable as I will commit 1 hour each month to this initiative, ensuring it fits into my schedule. It's relevant, aligning with my values of empathy, kindness, and socializing, of course. And it's also timely with the schedule I create and follow for the next month and continuing every month for the next 6 months to see how it improves my servant leadership just as a start. So overall, this plan allows me to develop my servant leadership by committing to and engaging with those I care about to foster those stronger and more supportive relationships with them and really recognize and focus on putting others first. So now that we are at the end of this course, I aspire to disrupt status quo through creating a vision from my values and dreams that inspires others to want to be a part of my leadership journey and sparks a passion in them to find meaning in their work and assignments and day-to-day tasks they do depending on the setting. Building on my level of self-awareness these past months, I know I have the potential to create a legacy of authenticity and success that in turn will create that ripple effect of positive change that extends beyond my future teams and organization. So thank you for your time and thanks for listening.